everybody for coming. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dan Jones. I'm the co-CEO of Net Zero Vermont, and I want to thank you for joining us today. I was former head of the Montpelier Energy Advisory Committee, and I kind of call myself now a sustainability social entrepreneur. Today, we're announcing what we hope will be an exciting and important citizens engagement effort. This is being done in order to assist Montpelier in its laudable goal of having the city be net zero by 2030. So for doing this, we've launched Net Zero Vermont. It's dedicated to helping to create a carbon-free future for Vermont. This corporation has allowed us to mobilize the resources through a unique design competition, starting today with Net Zero Vermont 2030. And we're offering a $10,000 prize for the best architectural design, which can help shape a sustainable Montpelier for 2030. Now, such an effort doesn't start in a vacuum. So with me over here is Debra Sachs, who's been a partner in organizing this effort for over a year and a half now. She and I have been putting together the pieces which have led to this initiative, and she can give you a little background on where we came from.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you everyone for being here. It's a beautiful day. I'd like to just quickly recognize that where this came from was about 20 years back, with it starting as Alliance for Climate Action, working in the early years for the City of Burlington and Chittenden County, and then moving on to the Community Climate Action, and now facing the challenges today, we needed as the board, and I'd like to recognize the board and my pride for their leadership, including Board President Rich Madrak, Treasurer David Glittersdorf, Donna Rizzo, and Paul Comey. And these folks have volunteered their time for some time now, and they want to make a difference. And so that has led to Net Zero Vermont. We renamed ourselves to Net Zero Vermont, and our first project under Net Zero Vermont is this sustainability competition. And to me, this is about the future. This is about sustainability, sustainable development, and very excited that we have all of this, all of you, many of you that are here today. I've worked with you, and so this is going to take a village, and this village hopefully will bring this a lot of energy around sustainable Montpelier and its future.
So for a little background, we're organizing this effort to begin fighting back against a 70-year-old silent invasion in which our automobiles have gradually occupied the majority of our public spaces. As you can see by our prop here, our aerial view of Montpelier, all of the red is off-street parking. Okay? The majority of our downtown real estate is dedicated to the care and feeding of parked cars. These cars provide little but toxic runoff into the river. We believe a new public vision of a livable center city will help us gain the energy and support to recreate our classic hometown. Now, in other livable cities, massive parking lots are located outside the center of town, which frees the downtown land for more productive uses. Let's say tax-generating high-density housing, okay, or commercial space, places for senior citizens and young people to live. Such cities also make use of their riverfronts for recreation, rather than walling them up to support yet more parking. This aerial view has been persuasive to so many folks who, once they see it, understand that much of this land dedicated to the care and feeding of the carbon-spewing auto is not a wise use of real estate. Such poor use of land is a product of, shall we say, cheap oil and a wasteful past which must be changed to make way for a new city center, a place where multiple generations can live together in a low-carbon, sustainable future. This competition will go out to architects and designers throughout the state and country who we have been informed would like an opportunity to imagine what a whole small city could look like in a post-carbon future. We understand that getting people to accept change in their current environment is really difficult. We all tend to like what we know because, well, that's what we know. However, if we want to move to a sustainable future, we're going to have to embrace change at some point. or we're going to have change forced upon us. We believe that people need to have a concrete vision of what could be better in order to embrace change. If we want to have a net zero city, that vision has to be presented in such a way that our citizens can see it and yearn for an improved lifestyle that is possible. Now, what better way of getting a great vision than to invite the best designers you can find to help create it? And that's what we're doing with this effort. Excuse me, I use notes because otherwise I forget things. Now I want to invite you to go to our website, www.netzerovt.org. You'll see it on a press release. One will find the whole invitation to the competition and the resources necessary to submit. Once we get the initial entries of this competition in September, we're going to be organizing a public viewing and voting process to engage the community in embracing the best designs. We're even going to have Ben & Jerry's ice cream available for those who participate. The calendar on the website will show you how the competition will progress through 2 rounds and culminate with the final award in November. Now, an effort on this scale takes more than a village. Many members of our growing community are here today. So let me introduce a couple of the key ones who've made this effort possible. I'd like to offer them a chance to say a few words about their support and what they believe the competition can bring to the city's future. And the first is Kate Stevenson. Kate is the current chair of the Montpelier Energy Advisory Committee, and the committee has been charged with leading the Net Zero Montpelier effort. Oh, and that reminds me. Please, everybody, make sure you and your friends show up on Saturday to the State House lawn, and about 10 in the morning we're going to have the Drive Less, Have More Fun festival, so that's just a side commercial. Kate?
Thanks, Dan. So the Montpelier Energy Advisory Committee is a group of volunteers and Montpelier residents and that work together to advise the City Council on energy-related issues. And in 2014, the Montpelier City Council did vote to adopt the 2030 net zero goal, which is that the whole city of Montpelier would be free of fossil fuels by 2030. And so we're working together with all kinds of residents, businesses, local organizations to help reach that goal. And we're really excited about this sustainable design competition because it will help us really set some ideas out that we as a community can start to implement together. So, thanks.
I'd also like to introduce a couple of our key sponsors. David Blittersdorf of All Earth Renewables is one of our board members and a moving force in the effort to create a sustainable future in Vermont. David, ever the businessman, is also looking at transportation business opportunities that could arise should we actually create a sustainable city. David?
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I'm really thrilled that this is all coming together. I got involved when Dan showed me this red picture. And most of us really can't visualize something unless we see a picture. And that's what this whole competition is about. Painting a vision of a future and showing what it can look like. Otherwise, we come up with in our own minds, you know, all sorts of different pictures. But this is really clear what the problem is. And being a business person in energy and renewable energy since 1982, I'm finally seeing where we have to go. And the idea that the car is our savior is wrong. The car has actually caused all of our problems, most of our problems in the environment. The carbon emissions, the oil usage. We have become so addicted to the car. We now have to break that addiction. And looking at this and redeveloping and looking at our energy, where it's going to come from, we're going to have wind, we're going to have solar. To get this city to be net zero, we're going to have all these different things. And as Dan said, I'm also working on transportation because we have to merge the renewable energy in the future and our transportation system. And the short-term solutions are going to be, there's a train track right through downtown. Why don't we have commuter rail? Why don't we have trains coming into Montpelier? How come there's not a train going to Burlington? We're going to be working on all those things, and they're coming soon. So this is very exciting that in less than, 15 years, this goal is going to be hit, but it takes a lot of work, and it's going to be a lot of change. So I'm really enthused that we're here and this is taking off. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Andy Barker from the social mission team at Ben & Jerry's. It's a deep honor to have them as one of our lead sponsors. Not only they're providing the grant and the effort, but they're actually providing access to their unique creativity. Andy?
Thanks, Dan. Hi, everybody. Ben & Jerry's is really proud to sponsor this design competition. You know, our angle on this is we're trying as a company to put all our resources into helping the global climate movement succeed. This is what we have to do, all of us together. We have to find ways, small, big, local, global, to really build a global climate movement that's going to win. It's going to deliver the kind of change that we need. And when Dan came to us and asked us if we would sponsor this competition, we recognized this competition as one of the steps that shows how we can win the global climate challenge. This is what we need. There are going to be, in our prosperous, beautiful future, there are going to be lots of net zero cities. And we need to get started on designing them. And hallelujah that Montpelier is going to lead the way and be the first city to do that. So thanks to Dan, thanks to Debra Sachs, all the people in Montpelier who've had a vision about being a net zero city. Congratulations in taking a next concrete step to see what that looks like. And Ben & Jerry's is trying to help spread the word about this and talk to our fans. One of the ways we think we can help is by taking a story like this that might not otherwise reach a lot of people, reach a broad audience, and tell ordinary ice cream fans around the world, around the globe, about what's happening right here in Montpelier. So that's one of the things we're committed to doing. We're also going to show up with ice cream. We do that really well, and people seem to like it, so we keep doing it. We are, for all those designers out there who are wondering if they should submit an entry to this contest, maybe this little tidbit will push you over to the edge, but Ben & Jerry's will send you a free pint coupon for registering and submitting a design to this contest. So we'll be there in the beginning, and we also are going to be there at the voting round. So we are going to come to Montpelier and hopefully help turn out a lot of this city to vote on the design for Vermont's future, for Montpelier's future. And the last thing I want to say is this: when we think about Montpelier as a small city, we forget how powerful small ripples can be in creating change. And this design competition is going to make Montpelier a better city. It's showing the way to the kind of approach we need to really address the climate crisis, which is we want a low carbon future that's better than our old high carbon past. And this design is going to show the way. So this is good for everybody in Montpelier. It's also good for everybody in Vermont, and it's going to send ripples farther than that around the world towards creating the net zero future that we want. So my thanks to all the people who've led the way on that, Dan, and I hope we're going to get a great response to this competition and lots of people to vote and create this design for Montpelier's future. Thanks, Dan.
I'd like to point out a couple of our other sponsors, and I was informed one of them wasn't going to have representation, but now they have. So if the representative from Vermont Creamery and one of my dear friends, Don Hooper, would like to say a couple of sentences, you're welcome to.
We're inspired by what you're up to. Yeah. David, thank you.
Thanks to Vermont Creamery and the Vermont's most creative food entrepreneur, Allison Hooper, along with the wonderful Don Hooper for their support, and to the National Life Group Foundation, Beth Rusnock and Ross Snyde for their support. Don't go anywhere. Okay, now I have to go through the real, well, let's put it this way. Some people have suggested to me that we're more than a bit crazy to believe that Montpelier could change its transportation outlook. Okay, they could change its land use and accommodate to a real net zero future, because the car is so much a part of our lifestyle. We're a commuter city. But I beg to differ. And what we have here is a sampling of some of the people who've changed a vision for this low-carbon, livable future. And we're launching this effort to complement their work and their commitments. Now, back in the corner there, I want to point out Ken Jones from the Economic Community Development Department, the school board, the Energy Commission, who has been a key supporter of what we've been doing. And thank you, Ken. And also to Barbara Connery from the Planning Commission, who is not here, who has been another key to this. Off in Boston, I want to thank Valerie Fletcher of the Institute for Human-Centered Design, who gave us a national perspective and will serve on our design review panel. Here we've got Paul Burns, one of the leaders in the state effort to move to a low-carbon future with BPERG, and it's helping to get people to actually figure out how to embrace that future. Back here we've got Ben Civiletti from the Vermont National Resources Council, and who, along with Deb, is helping with the VCAN, Vermont Energy and Climate Action Network, to make a statewide commitment to a livable future. Back over here we have Jenna Whitson from the Council on Rural Development, and they're taking a lead on the movement toward a climate change economy here in Vermont. So we believe this competition and the efforts that are going on in Montpelier for new business models is as much as any new technology that will be created. Back here was Sarah Jarvis and Ashley Wurzberger and Carolyn Grodeski from Montpelier Alive. And they're working to make a downtown which is a place that people actually want to wander about, not just commute into. Back here we have John Snell, Kevin Ellis, Ward Joyce, and they're responsible for this pocket park we're sitting in, for the Langton Street Alive effort, for making a walkable, livable downtown as we live. So the new urbanist perspective is gaining hold in town, and we've got to keep it moving. Over back hiding is Mike Miller, Director of Planning, who was here with Bill Fraser, but, oh, Bill.
You sat down.
They both hope to encourage citizen participation whenever possible, so we certainly hope to be working with the city as the project moves forward, but we're not asking them for the resources. We believe this is a citizen organizing effort, and we want to work with the city, not under it. Okay, taking film over here is Bob the Green Guy, Bob Farnham. He'll be helping with our social media engagement strategies, and he's sending out a live stream on this today, and it'll be on YouTube tonight. I would like to give a final chance to say a shout out to Brian Pendergast and Aaron Silver, who are our design and web team, and to make today's launch possible by not sleeping for the past week. So this really is a village effort. Now we'd like to entertain any questions, unless Deb, you have anything more you want to say.
I think you covered it all.